Hello, Math 143. Again, my name is Ethan A. Smith, a full-time mathematics instructor here at Catawba Valley Community College. Today is day 2 of your online 143 course, and I wanted to walk you through what you should be working on today, as well as how to access the group features of Blackboard. So I've already created your groups. You've been randomly assigned group members, and I'm going to show you how you can collaborate with your group members. Remember, this course relies extensively on group work and group collaboration, so you are expected to work with your group and constantly participate. Just to give you some assignment update times, or due dates rather, your first individual lab is due tomorrow by midnight, and your first group lab is due by next Monday at midnight. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and switch over the screen so you can see. I'm going to open Blackboard and walk you through all the group features that are there. All right, so let's go into the quantitative literacy course. I'm going to turn on student view. All right, so here's that message that I posted yesterday, the other video. You'll see here, you should have this new, I guess it's a menu down here that says Unit 1, Group 6. So I have randomly put myself in as a student for Group 6. And so if we click in there, we'll see that these are my group members for right now, for Unit 1. And then I have all these options. So for example, if I wanted to collaborate, what I could do is I could go in here and create a group discussion board. And then under this Unit 6 discussion board, I can create a thread. And we're working on Simpsons Paradox right now, so Simpsons Paradox Group Lab. And so we can say this is to discuss the Simpsons Paradox Group Lab. All right, and then I'm going to submit. And so inside here, I can now add messages, and I can reply to it. So if I wanted to, I could upload. So I could reply to that by uploading my individual lab so my other group members could see what I have done on my individual lab. All right, so where is this magical group lab at? All right, so if I go inside the Unit 1 folder and then in the Simpsons Paradox labs, I'll see two things. First is the individual lab, which is, again, that is due tomorrow by midnight. And then now there's this new one called the Group Simpsons Paradox Lab. So this, if you click here and download it, is very similar to the individual. In fact, the first few pages is exactly like the individual. And then towards the end is where things start to get a little different for the group portion. And so you are to work with your group members and completely finish the assignment. So when it comes to submitting a group assignment, only one member of the group needs to submit the lab. So once your group has finalized all your answers by Monday at midnight, one person from your group needs to submit into the Group Simpsons Paradox lab. So everybody submits their individual portion using this link, and please make sure you upload a Word document or a PDF. Both are perfectly fine. But for the group, only one of you needs to upload a Word document or a PDF. Now, if you ever get this screen where it's saying it looks like somebody's already submitted something, if there's nothing there, all you have to do is click continue, and it'll take you back to the submission page. The same thing goes with the individual lab. Sometimes it'll open up and it'll look like it'll say continue. If it says continue, just click it, and it should allow you to go to the submission page. Some of you also asked for the Simpsons Paradox Lab, the information. So if I go back, I think I closed it. But this ESPN website has changed their format so they no longer show grass and turf. So inside of the assignment description, I have already basically filled out that table for you. So this table right here corresponds to these missing pieces right here. I did not include the winning percentages. I want you to calculate that. And also this overall chart is something you will need to fill in on your own. But you will need to use this information here to complete those tables. So that is the first group and individual lab, and I have put due dates for everything. So if you want to be very neat and keep up with some due dates, if you go under Course Tools, there is actually a calendar. And so you will see in here, it will show you all of the labs that are due. So for example, tomorrow the individual Simpsons paradox is due, and then I have put in the due date for the mandatory census quiz. Then on Monday, your group Simpsons paradox is due. And also, each time you do a group lab, you will need to do a group evaluation. So let me run through group evaluations real quick. So I can click to go to this assignment, which is really nice. So here's how group evaluations work. First, I need to know my group members. So I'm going to go over here and get my group members. Let's see, where did it go? Oh, here it is. And I'm going to rate them on a scale of 1 to 5. So let's paste in those group names. I can get rid of their little thumbnail. All right. So what I'm going to do is on a scale from 1 to 5, I'm going to rate my group members. So for example, let's say Mrs. Armstrong was a perfect group member. She did everything she was supposed to do, so I'm going to give her a 5. Now, what does that 5 mean? That means that they were present during the entire allotted time for group discussion, so basically they participated online. They completed the individual lab and posted it to the discussion board. They gave useful ideas on all sections of the lab. They didn't just say, oh, I'm going to answer number 1. Like, they uploaded their lab and had good ideas for all of the sections. They also stayed on task. And I say that in the discussion board, they were on topic while talking about the lab, and then demonstrated a cooperative and supportive attitude. Basically, they were there, they were answering the discussion board questions, they were giving their ideas. So those are the 5 standards. If the group member doesn't meet one, so let's say this person here, Ethan Smith, doesn't demonstrate a cooperative and supportive attitude, he's being very negative, he's not giving good ideas, we're going to give them a 4. So that would be that user's rating. All right, and then I just hit submit, and then I can rate the other people. They were fantastic group members, a pleasure to work with. Now this is myself, so you do want to rate yourself, and I'm being a little harsh on myself just as for demonstration. But then you hit submit, and that's your group evaluation, and it'll give you a little preview, and this is exactly what I see. So you only complete a group evaluation after your group has submitted the group lab. You don't want to do it before. All right, you want to give everybody the opportunity to participate, collaborate, and get that information out there. And if you make a mistake, you can just click start over, and you can do that all again if you wanted to. And it sent me an email saying that my work had been submitted, which is kind of nice. All right, so that's under Course Tools. Now if I wanted to show you also the My Grades. Now there's a lot going on inside of My Grades. Anytime you see this exclamation mark, that means the instructor, me, needs to grade the assignment. These highlighted blue should be, for the most part, it looks like it's set up correctly. Those are the final grades that are calculated in Blackboard. I'll try to make another video to explain that more in depth, but what you really want to be looking for is these blue highlighted, the grade associated with these blue highlighted rows. Now again, if you want to know how I grade group and individual labs, there's two ways you can do that. One, you can watch this video, or two, you can go through and read all about how I grade group and individual work. All right, and here is grading group work. Here is all of the ways that I grade. And I do it based on a point deduction system. So you will see points deducted in Blackboard, which actually means you'll have negative numbers in Blackboard. But we don't want to see those, so you're going to turn everything in on time. And you're going to read this in depth, or watch that video again. All right, so to recap, today you should be completing the individual Simpsons paradox lab. You should have that submitted by midnight tomorrow. Then you should start contacting your group members using the Blackboard group feature, either posting in a discussion board, or there's also an email option in there. And your group Simpsons paradox lab is due by Monday at midnight. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. And then a final note, please do not let WebAssign go on the back burner. Make sure that you're keeping up with WebAssign. You've already been loaded. You have today would be a 12-day trial left. The ebook is there for you. And if you haven't had the time, either purchase the access code or stop by the bookstore and pick it up using your financial aid if that is an option for you. Again, if you have any questions, please email me at esmith845@cvcc.edu. And again, I look forward to hearing from you and reading your discussions and your course introductions inside of Blackboard.